Once, in a small village surrounded by rolling hills and lush green fields, there lived a young man named Manish. Manish was a hard worker, always striving to be the best at everything he did. Whether it was farming, studying, or even playing games with his friends, he was obsessed with results. He measured his worth by his achievements, and if things didn't go as planned, he would grow frustrated and lose hope. One day, after a particularly disappointing harvest, Manish decided to visit an old man who lived on the outskirts of the village. The old man was known for his wisdom and his beautiful garden, which was the envy of everyone who saw it. Manish hoped the old man could teach him the secret to success. When Manish arrived at the old man's cottage, he was greeted by the sight of the most vibrant garden he had ever seen. Flowers of every color bloomed in perfect harmony, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of jasmine. The old man was kneeling in the soil, gently tending to a row of saplings. Manish approached him and said, "Sir, your garden is incredible. How do you make it grow so beautifully? What's your secret?" The old man looked up and smiled. "Come, sit with me," he said, patting the ground beside him. Arjun sat down, and the old man handed him a small pot filled with soil and a single seed. "Plant this," he said, "and I will teach you the secret." Manish took the seed and planted it carefully, covering it with soil and watering it. "Now what?" he asked eagerly. The old man replied, "Now you wait." Manish frowned. "Wait? But how will I know if it's growing? How will I know if I'm doing it right?" The old man chuckled softly. "That's the first lesson," he said. "You cannot control the seed. You cannot force it to grow. All you can do is provide the right conditions, good soil, water, and sunlight, and trust the process. If you dig it up every day to check on it, you'll only harm it." Manish nodded slowly, though he wasn't entirely convinced. Over the next few weeks, Arjun visited the old man every day. He watered the seed, made sure it had enough sunlight, and even talked to it, hoping it would grow faster. But no matter how much he tried, he couldn't see any progress. Frustrated, he went to the old man and said, "I've done everything you told me, but nothing is happening. What am I doing wrong?" The old man smiled and said, "You're doing nothing wrong. You're simply focusing too much on the result. Tell me, Manish, why do you want this seed to grow so badly?" Manish thought for a moment and replied, "Because I want to prove that I can do it. I want to see the fruit of my labor." The old man nodded. "And what if the seed never grows? Will that make you a failure?" Manish hesitated. I don't know," he admitted. The old man placed a hand on Manish's shoulder. "The secret to my garden," he said, "is not in the results, but in the process. I don't grow flowers because I want to prove something. I grow them because I love the act of nurturing, of being present with the soil and the sunlight. The flowers are simply a bonus. When you focus too much on the result, you miss the joy of the journey. You become so attached to the outcome that you forget to live." Manish sat in silence, letting the old man's words sink in. He realized that he had been so focused on achieving success that he had forgotten to enjoy the process. He had been measuring his worth by his results, instead of finding value in the effort itself. The next day, Manish returned to the old man's garden with a new perspective. He watered the seed, not because he expected it to grow, but because he enjoyed the act of caring for it. He sat in the garden, feeling the warmth of the sun on his skin and the coolness of the soil beneath his hands. For the first time in a long time, he felt at peace. Weeks passed, and one morning, as Manish was tending to the garden, he noticed a tiny green shoot emerging from the soil. His heart swelled with joy, not because he had achieved something, but because he had learned to let go. He realized that the seed had grown not because he had forced it, but because he had trusted the process and allowed it to unfold in its own time. The old man approached him and said, "Do you see now? Life is like this garden. You cannot control the results, but you can control how you show up each day. When you let go of your need for outcomes, you open yourself up to the beauty of the present moment. That is the secret to a fulfilling life." Manish smiled, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. From that day on, he approached everything with a new mindset, not as a race to achieve, but as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to be present. And in doing so, he found a peace he had never known before. Thanks for watching.